Lesetja Kganyago hails from Alexandra, a sprawling township north of Johannesburg. He proved himself academically, having attended several educational institutions, including the University of London and Harvard. With a firm footing in economics, Kganyago returned to South Africa to help build the country's economy under the first democratic government. He's now taking over the Reserve Bank.
Well, I only knew recently that I am going to become the governor. I will plan for the next 5 years. There is a very elaborate planning process in the bank. I think that it has served the bank well. And in any case, we plan in 3 to 5 year cycles.
Kganyago worked in the finance ministry from 1996 until joining the South African Reserve Bank in 2011. He was selected as the new head of the bank after Jill Marcus decided to step down.
Most of his life really has been at the Treasury. In other words, he has a firm understanding of fiscal policy. More importantly, even has a firm understanding of a yield curve and how capital is allocated from an interest rate perspective.
I think Lesetja Kganyago is going to continue Jill Marcus's broad policies, bearing in mind he's not the only voice on the MPC. At the end of the day, it's a committee that does vote. So I kind of think for now it's steady as she goes.
Kganyago served both the ANC and COSATU. He remains a keen ally of the ruling party. While his appointment was largely welcomed, some are still skeptical about his independence.
I think that Lesetja is very much a political animal. He plays politics very well, and that's why he's gotten to where he has got to. He's a smart person, but I do think that he's potentially prone to some political interference. I see him more in the mold of Tito Mboweni than I do Jill Marcus, who was a lot more measured. That said, Tito Mboweni, being quite a strong-headed person, raised interest rates when he needed to, and he raised them quite aggressively.
Kganyago has taken over the Reserve Bank at a time when the country's economy is weak. The unemployment rate is rising.
His turnover will be he needs to demonstrate his hawkishness in trying to balance what inflation expectations are and where growth is. That's going to be what a challenging task for him.
No major policy changes are expected during Kganyago's tenure, but the new governor will need to stamp his authority from his first MPC meeting next week. This may mean a possible rate hike for South Africans ahead of Christmas. Sumitra Nadu, CCTV, Johannesburg.